All right, so let's talk about Sagittarius. We might call this one the Sagittarian spiritual template, or we might call it the Sagittarius spiritual mandate, or some such. We'll find an appropriate title for this discussion today. But Sagittarius, of course, is the ninth sign in the progression of the zodiac. And the zodiac, well, from one standpoint, it would give you codes to help you to understand your consciousness, the structure of your consciousness as a human, but also as a consciousness making its way through reality. And this would be a good segue, the notion of making your way through reality. A good segue into what we're describing as the spiritual mandate or template that Sagittarius describes. Sagittarius is archetypally the explorer. And so from the broadest standpoint, Sagittarius would be concerned with finding pathways or making pathways through reality, creating inroads into reality, exploring reality. And so it would be imperative to understand this as part of your basic human agenda, that from the broadest standpoint, you are here to explore a reality, to make your way through it, to, let's say, maneuver the vehicle of your consciousness through a reality. All of you are exploring. You are exploring dimensions of your own awareness, different facets of your awareness, and you are exploring various realities. And so Sagittarius, the explorer, finding its way through a given reality. Sagittarius describes this impetus, this deeper soul impulse to go out and to find your way through reality and to create the maps. And so Sagittarius wants to cut pathways through reality to discover, to traverse. If you appreciate that your consciousness is on a journey traversing reality, it means that you have to take some degree of ownership for the fact that you are an explorer, that each of you, whether you are Sagittarian or not, meaning whether you have prominent placements, astrologically speaking, in Sagittarius, whether or not that's true, you are each exploring reality. But some of you would want the map handed to you if you're not aware that you are on a journey, which in part demands that you make your own discoveries as a sovereign consciousness making its way through reality, that you're meant to, in whatever ways appropriate to you, find your own way to make further inroads into reality, to add to the map, to add to the network of roads, let's say, in reality. So each of you in your own unique life experience is adding to the map, creating new roads by virtue of your unique experience. But what we're saying is that from a psychological orientation, many of you would want the map handed to you. You are afraid of going out and seeing what's there, and instead you rely on the maps given to you by other people. And nothing is wrong, of course, with taking advantage of the exploration that other people have undertaken, meaning that you learn. And learning is also a Sagittarian impulse, a broader Sagittarian impulse. You learn from others as they explore reality, and you edify your human consciousness, collectively speaking. But remember that you yourself are required as a sovereign consciousness to make your own explorations and to not take instruction in every single department of your life from something that has already been written. You are explorers. And so You're meant to explore. You're meant to find new territory, to open up new territory. And by virtue of your unique personhood, by virtue of the unique person that you are already opening up new terrains of experience. So maps given to you are very helpful. They help you to make sense of your experience, other people's input, and maps help to give you direction and to help to set you off on a pathway. But we want to emphasize that there is a portion of you that has come into this reality to find your own way, to have fresh experience that comes with making a journey and exploring. So, as a sovereign consciousness, you are on a Sagittarian mission to explore reality, to learn about reality through or from the standpoint of your own unique experience. So what we want to emphasize is that you have a duty, a responsibility to find your own pathways, to not rely solely on the input of others, the data from others, the learning from others, to find your own way through life. You have a sovereign duty to collect your own experience, to forge your own pathways, because you are a unique consciousness making your way through reality. And so you are required to some degree, to find your own pathways, to create new experience, to open up experience. Each human being has a responsibility to add to the corpus of collective human experience by opening up their own pathways. Now, as you become, let's say, more spiritually aware, you naturally seek. As you become more spiritually aware and awake, you naturally seek larger and larger frameworks of meaning and understanding. You want a bigger framework of meaning, a larger framework of understanding. And that is the Sagittarian mandate, where you do not want to be held in or held back by the limitations of other people's perceptions of reality. You want to open up and push the boundary and go beyond, travel beyond the perceptions and beliefs of others if these would curtail your experience of reality. And so that is what prompts the spirit of Sagittarius forward, because the spirit of Sagittarius, this aspect of your human template, it knows that there are other possibilities and potentials to be explored that go beyond what has already been discovered. So the Sagittarian spirit does not want to be held back by the limitations of other people's perceptions of reality. And that is why you travel on the deepest levels. Even physically, you want to go beyond the boundaries, the limits that have been set by others, to find out what's there, to see what is within reality that can be experienced by you. And so the Sagittarian spirit is not content to be held back by the limitations of others. Say, oh, the map only ends here. There's no more road to travel. No. The Sagittarian spirit knows that there is always more territory of experience to be opened up into, to enjoy, to explore, to traverse. And so this framework, the Sagittarian framework, describes something fundamental about your human codes, not just your human codes, but the codes of your consciousness, that as a sovereign consciousness taking human form, as you play in the playground of reality, you have a responsibility, a duty to create your own map in some degree, to add to the overarching corpus of experience that is held within your collective humanity. And so that demands going beyond what you've been told by others, if that should limit you. You are meant to explore, to consistently push into new dimensions of experience so that you can know what you are. You don't know what is in you if you do not move toward greater and greater frameworks of experience. Experience helps you to understand the fabric of what you are. You learn new dimensions of who you are. And so as you move through the world, perhaps you think about where in your own life you could be charting your own course, creating your own maps, clearing your own roads, creating your own pathways into territory that has not yet been traversed. What beliefs do you have that would prevent you from charting your way? Are you allowing the limitations of others to curtail your own experience as a sovereign soul consciousness? These are the questions. Yes, those who would have a Sagittarian imprint would take on these lessons in a particular kind of way. These overarching thematic lessons, yes. But each human would still hold within them, in the framework and structure of consciousness that they have, they would hold this set of codes, Sagittarian codes, which are meant to remind you that you are on a journey, that you are traveling, that you are experiencing, and that it is your human duty to not only take the maps that have been created by others, but to create your own map. And so these are a few things to think about on a deeper level. And to chart your own way through reality, it would also take a very Sagittarian sort of attitude. It would take trust. It would take trust and confidence and faith in the basic rightness of who you are. It would take trust in yourself to decide to traverse beyond the limitations that have been set, beyond the maps, beyond the roads that have been drawn on the map handed to you. The trust that as I explore reality, I am held within something that has meaning. I am held within something that supports me and sustains me and supports my endeavor to explore reality and to edify myself in that way. And so you see how it's all connected. The basic spiritual template and mandate of Sagittarius and the attitudes that we would readily identify as Sagittarian. Have faith, trust, confidence, and belief in who you are. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. There is, let's say, a natural optimism that is built into the structure of your consciousness. Whether or not you are personally optimistic is not what we're saying. We're talking about this natural optimism that propels you to go into realities and say, aha, it's going to work out. I'm going to learn something. A natural playfulness, a natural reaching for beneficial experience that would add to who you are. That goes along with a generally optimistic attitude on the deepest spiritual levels. And so yes, as we said, as you become more aware spiritually, you want to have greater and greater reference. You want to widen the lens through which you see reality. You want to expand your beliefs. A Sagittarian mandate, an impulse. You want to expand the lens through which you see reality, expand your beliefs. Even as some of you become more spiritually aware and awake, you naturally find yourself looking up toward the sky, toward the vast expanse of sky that is over your head. You want to have a larger context of your existence as a being in the wider cosmos. So you look up, you start to take note of the stars and what is happening in the skies, which are very interesting on the planet at the moment, as many people are expanding their awareness, their consciousness, and pushing the limits of what they've been told. And so as you seek out a larger framework of understanding that naturally comes as you become more spiritually aware, you find yourself looking up and being aware of the sky in real physical terms. The moon, the stars, all of it. You want to have a larger framework of reference, and that is the Sagittarian mandate. And so these core mandates are what become expressed as you would examine your individual astrological blueprint. These core mandates, these deeper spiritual soul mandates, are what seek to be expressed through you in your own physical life. If you have an emphasis on this zodiac sign, as you call it, which is really a field, a structure of consciousness that allows you to play. So if you have this emphasized in your astrological blueprint, then you are playing out in your own unique way through your own immediate human life and your daily affairs. You're playing out some broader spiritual principles and mandates if you have this Sagittarian imprint emphasized. And so it would be incumbent on you to understand some of the deeper frameworks within which your consciousness and your personality are housed. What am I here doing? What deeper codes of consciousness am I personally here to unlock and play with and frame my human experience by? And so your chart looked at in a deeper way will help you to understand the deeper spiritual mandates of your human experience and to help you to understand what you are required to do and what frameworks of consciousness you're playing with. All right, so reminding you as usual that I'm available for a range of private astrological counseling and teaching consultations, and links to that are in the description box below, where you'll also find links to join my email list if you'd like these kinds of reflections and others to be sent to your inbox. So wishing you a wonderful Sagittarius season, and until next time, talk soon. Bye.